Hi, it's Ant here, and welcome back to Unboxing Music. I've been following quite recently on the YouTube something called CD tag, similar to the vinyl tag, but it's all about CDs. I planned on doing a vinyl tag one, but my head's been all over the place with it. The CD tag seemed a lot more straightforward. My notes are a bit shoddy, as you can see. So I think the person who started this was Glenn Kellaway at the Basement. So let's get into it. First question. When did I get my first CD player? 1986. I bought it as a bundle from a company called Richer Sounds in the UK. I got a Marantz CD67 with a Marantz amp that I can't remember the name, model number of offhand, along with a set of KEF Coder 4 speakers. Great deal at the time. Was really pleased with them. And they lasted me a good 6 or 7 years. In fact, the only reason I could dispose of them because I moved to America for 6 years. Otherwise, I'd probably have kept them a lot longer. Okay, question 2. What was the first CD I bought? The first CD I bought was Boston, Third Stage, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I don't have it anymore, but I do have the vinyl. Obviously, it's not a CD, so big epic fail there. The CD sounds so much better than the vinyl. This vinyl is really thin, so I wouldn't recommend it on vinyl. There may be some early pressings where it's a lot better, but this one isn't particularly great. But I have ordered a new copy off eBay. Question 3. My most recent CD purchased. Well, it was actually 2 CDs, and it's by a band called Paranoid Void. I bought them both at the same time. They were the opening act on a tour in November. It was at the beginning of December, and I saw "And So I Watch You From Afar" and Delta Sleep was the 2 headlining bands. But yeah, I was so pleased to see Paranoid Void again. Originally caught them at Arc Tangent in 2022. Which is a post-rock, math rock festival, and here in the UK. And I was quite enamoured with them, and the performance they gave was superb. Picked up these 2 CDs. I think these are more EPs than proper albums. But yeah, math rock, really enjoyed it. These are my latest purchases. Question 4. How many CDs do I have? About 2,000. Don't know exactly. I've got some in boxes, and as you can see here, I've got one rack labelled A to Z. This is my pre-2000 CD rack. I also have another rack with post-2000 CDs in it, and I've got a box somewhere else which has got stuff that I don't really play too much. In addition, I've got another rack which has got stuff kind of sorted out as well. Yeah, a lot of CDs. And I have about 1,000 albums to go along with them as well. Question 5. Jewel case or digipack? I'll be honest, and I'm going to go against the grain here. I prefer the digipack. This one is by a band called Giant Walker, who are a progressive metal band here in the UK. I think they're based up in Newcastle, but they've got members of the band from all over the country. This was an absolutely phenomenal album. I've seen them a couple of times live as well. Superb band. Question 6. Best CD purchase of 2024? Well, I've actually got 2 albums. Both are post-rock bands. One is a band called Solars, A Fading Future, and the other one is by A Million Moons, I May Be Some Time. I do have another one which has become a huge favourite of mine by Civil Service, but for the life of me I can't find it at the moment. So yeah, there were technically 3 which were my favourite of this year. I can't really choose between them. So there we go. Solars, Million Moons and Civil Service. A live album on CD. Well, I've just got to go for this one, which is Sylvian Fripp in a really battered case here. Sylvian Fripp, Damage. This was part of their 1993 tour. If I had to pick a track on here, it would be the actual title track, Damage, which is one of my favourite songs of all time. Yeah, fabulous album. A very short-lived collaboration between Robert Fripp and David Sylvian, but absolutely stunning. Number 8, or question 8, the best sounding CD in my collection. It just has to be this one. This is a funk Brit soul acid jazz band called Incognito, 100 Degrees and Rising. I've got a pair of the system I've got at the moment is a Marantz CD 6007, I think it is, and the equivalent amp. And I've also got a set of Kef reference speakers, and this CD sounds absolutely stunning when I listen to it. Incognito, 100 Degrees and Rising. Can't count. 9. Question 9. CD cover or artwork? Well, I've just got to go for this. This is... Where are we now? It hasn't got it on the spine or the sleeve. This is Fear Inoculum by Tool. And the artwork in here is... Ooh, it's all falling apart. There's a promo code thing there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that's not gorgeous. That's a black page. Love this. I just love the artwork in here, and they've got these like these overlays as well to go with it. I think this is a fantastic album. I know a lot of Tool fans are like, it's not that great, but Pneuma is one of my favourite Tool songs. Love this. Show a CD box set. Ooh, this is one. Well, I'm not sure whether you call this a CD box set or it's certainly the deluxe edition. So, Hand Cannot Erase by Steven Wilson. This is a phenomenal album. It's how many CDs were there in this? 4 CDs altogether. And it comes with an absolutely a lush booklet. And there are all sorts of interesting goodies inside it as well. Let me see if I can find a couple.
2 hours later.
There are things like an extra booklet that you get with it, a newspaper cutting, a cassette inlay for a mixtape, a postcard that was sent, this lovely little notebook as well. It's just an incredibly well put together package. I think there's a couple of extra things. Oh, yeah, there's one last thing. This is really interesting. There's a copy of the birth certificate as well. It's kind of a concept album about somebody who went missing. Not so much missing, but died in their flat, their apartment, and nobody knew about it. It's quite harrowing, really, that in this day and age that people can just disappear from sight and nobody knows about it. A CD from my favourite band. My favourite band generally tends to change, oscillates between a few bands. Porcupine Tree with Steven Wilson, absolutely superb band. Big fan of the progressive rock band Yes, and I'm going to show their first CD here, first album, which is of interest because it was re-released on cobalt blue vinyl this year. I think it might have been remastered as well. Really enjoy listening to this first album by them. It's got a really fresh feel to it. Never tire of it. So yeah, favourite band at the moment is Yes, but I can guarantee next year it'll be a different band. Question 12. Run out of fingers now. Which band do you have the most CDs by? Well, I guess band or artist. It would have to be Frank Zappa. I think I've got about 30 CDs by him. Yeah, Frank Zappa. This album came out this year, Funky Nothingness. This was like the follow-up to Hot Rats that never got released, or it could also have been considered there's some outtakes as well on here from Hot Rats, I think. Personally, I was disappointed with this release. Didn't do anything for me at all. So there you go, Frank Zappa, Funky Nothingness, my number one collected artist So, question 13. I've actually got 2 questions down, an A and a B for this, and I should have gone back and re-evaluated this. But do I collect CDs and vinyls? Yes, collect both. I've got about 1,000 vinyls, as I mentioned before. And the other half was, did you ever sell off your vinyl collection for CDs? No, but I moved to America in 1990, end of 92 and beginning of 93, and I went over with my girlfriend at the time, Tina the Terrible. I'm sure you can guess what's coming here. All my vinyl and CD collection went to her house for her parents to look after while I was out there. Things didn't work out. She moved back to the UK and sold all my CDs and vinyls. I didn't see a penny of it. So there you go. Finally, show a CD you'd like the audience to listen to. Another of my favourite bands is called LOE, Last of Eden. And this is an album that was released last year. The World and Everything in It. I've got a couple of copies on vinyl because it's had some special editions. I think one's lathe cut and one's like a blue and red and white splatter. And yeah, this is quite phenomenal. LOE are a post-rock band. I'll drop a link to them and some of the other bands that I've mentioned in the description. So if you want to go and have a listen to it, it's on Bandcamp, so there's no fee for listening. And if you like it, give them some love and buy some merch, because they're also mates of mine. I've seen them probably about 8 times now, I think, over the past almost 3 years. Yeah, good friends with them. Great band, post-rock, and I hope you'll enjoy listening to it. And that's it. That's my 14 questions answered. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Obviously, my tastes are not going to be like anybody else's. And yeah, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. You can always hit the thumbs down if you didn't like the video. And if you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button. A lot of what I post is vinyl, but I'm moving house this year. I need to cut down on my expenses. So I'm going to be buying a lot more CDs rather than vinyl this year. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Take care, and I'll see you, yes, you, in the next video. Bye-bye.